for the sauna that is using a cordwood technique. Some of the logs I'm replacing instead with double-ended bottles, and so they look like these. So they're 20 centimeters wide, which is as wide as the logs being used, and so they should be relatively good insulators and also allow a certain amount of diffuse light that I think will be just right for the lighting desired in a sauna. So the end product looks like this, and essentially it starts with drinking a bunch of wine or having friends and family that do, and then I put them in a big pot of water, which is gonna loosen the label somewhat. And then once the label is loose, it comes off relatively easy just by scratching it off with a knife. It's important to take off the label because the paper is gonna kind of mess with the cut that I'm gonna be making next, and also with the diffusion of heat when it comes to the blowtorch, and also the paper will dull the diamonds on the cutter. So I made this thing, but it was improved by a friend, and the technique in general was greatly improved by two very clever friends. So all it is just basically a right angle frame and then the diamond cutter that is set at 10 centimeters. So that when I have a 10 centimeter cut on two bottles, it'll give me a 20 centimeter end product. So I basically just hold it relatively firmly, and then I turn it with some decent force, and the scratching lets me know it's cutting in. So I don't really know how many revolutions is necessary for a deep enough cut, but the idea is not to cut through the entire glass, but just to create a stress mark so that when I heat it with the blowtorch, it'll have an area of difference in heating, and I mean a more sensitive point for when it snaps. So yeah, the idea is to take a blowtorch or any source of heat, I guess. I've noticed that if it's too hot, the cut is not clean. So I try to set it pretty much as low as I can. Whoa. Yeah, so that one's not gonna work. So yeah, I guess I went too fast there. No, I'm gonna take this one, which I've already made a cut through. I guess the heat is too high. I'm gonna reduce it. And I try to follow the scratch line with the flame. And then I dunk it in water. And presto. So it's a relatively clean cut. I mean, I'm not really using this to drink or anything, so I'm not gonna bother sanding it down. As long as it's a relatively tight fit with another butt, then I think it'll do the trick. And then yeah, I just use duct tape to just wrap it around, and then I have the end product like this. And then obviously for every bottle I cut, I also have the top end that's left over. And so I pretty much do the same thing with the top end, except I put two top ends together like this with a little cork. And then the idea will be that by joining them like this, it creates a sort of tessellation, which I will use to insulate the floor. And so I'm gonna lay this formation on the floor and then cover that in wool, and I'm hoping it'll be a good insulator that is also water resistant. And that's it.